Balloon Beats.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined tonight by the man, the myth, the legend, hashtag shut up, Brandon Kramer. How we doing tonight, my man?
Doing great. Excited for the Super Bowl tomorrow.
Super Bowl is tomorrow. As many of you know, I'm not a huge football guy. However, I am rooting for the Chiefs because, how could I not root for the guy with the same name as me, right?
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay.
But moving on to more baseball-centric topics. There's honestly not much Yankee news that we could kind of talk about. There's been a couple signings across Major League Baseball. I know Ozuna signed. We didn't talk about the Bauer signing, so we could touch on that too.
The Ozuna signing was it's more like a sign like the NL's they're expecting like a DH, if not this year, next year, because he is terrible in the field. He is terrible in the field.
Was he the one? Okay, I could be wrong.
He was the one that jumped up against the Dodgers.
That did the Spider-Man shit,
yes.
Right? Yes.
And the ball bounced in front of him. Yes.
He was with the Cardinals at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, listen. I think he got 4 years, $64 million.
Yeah, about 50. It was roughly about 15 a year.
Honestly, I would consider that a pretty decent deal for Marcell Ozuna. The Braves also, they kind of needed him back. I don't know, they have Pop in their lineup, but Marcell Ozuna is just a perfect fit for them. Shout out to the chat. Shout out Bright CJ.
He has protection to Freddie Freeman.
He does, yeah. Felix, Jake, Logan, what's going on? Logan, I was actually looking for you yesterday when I went live because the Dodgers signed Bauer. I know you're the only Dodger fan who watches our stuff, so I really want to see your opinion. Shout out to you guys. Dodgers are really making moves. Despite even winning. All right, we could touch on the Bauer thing because why is my microphone being annoying? I talked about it all by myself yesterday. And Brandon, I want to hear your input. Listen, I know you're not that big of a fan of it, but my thing is I consider it a 2-year deal. So what? They're giving him $45 million. They're willing to go over the luxury tax threshold. So I don't see an issue whatsoever.
I mean, I would have given. No doubt Bauer is good. It's just the inconsistency. I mean, you could look at what he did this last season, and then look at the teams he went up against, and look 2019 we had a full year. I mean, is he a good pitcher? Yes. Is he worth 45 to 40 to 45 million? Absolutely not. That's more like a win now mode, but that has a bigger risk of him honestly shitting the bed. That's honestly my guess. I mean, he's a good pitcher, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but even if he does shit the bed, you just lose the money. It's not like you're losing money over a course of 9 years.
I do think they sacrificed re-signing Corey Seager.
And Kershaw.
I think Kershaw's just going to retire soon.
Okay, but wait. I was thinking the same thing, but he's only 32.
Wait, what? I thought it
was Kershaw is only 32 years old.
Thought it was in his mid-30s.
I looked this up yesterday because I was I could see maybe Kershaw taking a little bit of a pay cut, taking multiple 1-year deals to stay with the Dodgers. When he's a free agent next season, he's only going to be 33 years old. I thought the dude was a lot older than that. I thought we were talking like a Scherzer age kind of guy because I think
Yeah, so
Scherzer's
that's
like
what I thought as
36.
well. Yeah, Scherzer's old.
Yeah. Um. But yeah. That's as far as I kind of want to discuss Bauer anymore. Because listen, we've been talking about him all season. Like I get it. Like he's an awesome pitcher. I do think he's a little bit overrated. But I do think also a lot of people shit on him too much for no reason. Dude, I may or may not have just been watching Joey Gallo highlights and accidentally made Yankees Twitter believe we're rumored to get him by tweeting about how he hits nukes. That's all you got to do to Yankees Twitter. Just post a video of like a guy like hitting bombs, and then they're guaranteed that Yankees are getting him.
Don't get me wrong. Everyone loves Joey Gallo, and he's a great player. But when Yankee fans are like, "Oh, we're too like hit or miss. We're all strikeout or home run," that's literally Joey Gallo's career.
No, yeah.
So like everyone's saying, "Oh, we want Gallo because he hits home runs." When you know damn well a month after when he has 10 home runs and strikes out 50 times that they're going to be like, "Oh, he doesn't do well. Doesn't have good strong at bats."
No, yeah. He
He's a
would
guy
be
that
one of
would
those guys that he would get torn to shreds, like literal
absolutely
shreds.
torn to shreds.
Also, like, listen, I think that he would probably be more hated than Giancarlo Stanton because I would say
1000%.
he's even more streaky than Giancarlo Stanton is.
We have seen with Stan is that when he is healthy, he's unstoppable. With
No, yeah.
Gallo, he literally has more home runs than singles
No,
in
I
his
know.
career.
Are you comfortable with the Yankees starting pitching? Brandon, I know this was actually a topic that you wanted to hit on tonight.
Yeah,
So
I
I'll
mean-
ask you, are you comfortable with the Yankees starting pitching?
Now you can look in and say, "Oh, these pitchers haven't pitched in a while," but on paper, this is a good rotation. Now we also have to remember this: when the lineup is firing on all cylinders, which happens more than not, they're scoring 5-6 runs a game. You're literally asking your pitchers give up less than 4 runs. That's not hard to do with the quality of pitchers we have. So would I like it to be improved a little bit more? Absolutely. You always want improvement. But I'm honestly, I am content right now with the rotation right now. I think Montgomery's really going to step it up this year because last year was his first kind of full season back. And I do full season because 6 games from Tommy John. And you could see the beginning he started well, then he started losing his mechanics. And then towards the end of the year, specifically that Tampa game, he showed what he's capable of doing, which is being a really good 5th starter. Like keeping the ball on the ground and everything. So I do believe I am confident. I mean, it's not really loving it, but I do like it. I think they can succeed with it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of view the rotation the same way currently. I wouldn't be opposed to adding like another guy, maybe like a Paxton, on a cheap deal. But I do think Paxton is probably going to get a little bit more money. He might even get a multi-year deal. I'd be surprised, but I wouldn't be shocked. No.
I don't know.
Only because of Boris. Boris is a
but here's the
finesser.
thing. I saw something that Paxton reached out to the Mariners and asked, "Hey, can I come back?" And they said no. Like the thing with Paxton is, unlike best example, Corey Kluber, his velocity has gone down. He's still a good pitcher. With Paxton, once his velocity goes down, he's dog shit. And I put that in the nicest way possible. Actually, fuck that.
Oh, yeah.
He is. It's true. Paxton relies on velocity. When he's a mid 90s fastball versus an upper 90s fastball is much different. Like even that hundredth of a second can be the difference. And the faster his fastball is, the better his slider cutter is, because when he's throwing low 90s, his slider cutter is more like a slider in the 80s or in the mid to low 80s. He needs it to be more like a cutter, which is faster, which fools hitters more, because then that makes his curveball much better.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I don't trust his back.
I want to bring up CJ's comment. Giraffe Neck Mark was pissed. Cry, Giraffe Neck Mark. You absolute bozo. Will the Dodgers trade Price now to the Yankees?
Absolutely not.
I heard. Listen, I don't know where people are hearing Price to the Yankees, but you probably have a better chance of like pigs flying, bro, because it's not happening. No, but you know what the issue is about stuff like this? Because I actually I looked up David Price Yankees just because I'm curious as to where it came from. And of course, Yanks Go Yard published an article. Could the Yankees trade for David Price?
I mean, that's just literally a click thing. I mean, if we're talking about that, first of all, who would be paying for the money?
No, it's the definition of click. Like, it's stupid as hell. I'm like, why would you even write an article about something
honestly
that's
just
so
the
ludicrous?
Meme, you know, they would say, "Oh, he goes on the Yankees, he'll turn his career on." Like, that's just something like That's just never going to happen. I mean,
It's stupid.
It's never.
That's why Yanks Go Yard pisses me off, bro. They just write articles about random shit just to get clicks. I heard Urias are made of the Yanks in a blockbuster trade because the Dodgers have too many pitchers. Listen, that might be a little bit more realistic than Price, but I still don't see that happening either.
Yeah, the Yankees will not be the only way I could ever see that happening is if the Dodgers agree to pay the rest of David Price's contract, and they won't do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, but that contract is disgusting. Like luxury tax or not, I wouldn't even take that. If we had like $100 million, I still wouldn't take that contract.
No, I would agree. Let's see. But dude, if we match up against them in the World Series, it's gonna be really tough for us to beat that rotation.
Can I be honest about something? It doesn't scare me that much.
What, the rotation?
We faced Kershaw once. We did well against him. I feel like we could do well against Buehler because he would really have to rely on his secondary pitches because the Yankees hit fastball as well. Don't tell me them throwing out David Price because everyone knows the memes. And I mean, we've faced Bauer before. We've had some success against him. I mean, is it a good rotation? Yes. I would say at one point the Rays their starting three scared me a little bit more.
I would agree.
I would say I would have feared if Bauer went to the Mets, I would be terrified of that rotation. But
yeah,
the Dodgers, I mean, I don't know. Because let's say there are fans, and let's say the Dodgers come into town. You know some of them are just going to be absolutely heckled to shreds.
I would agree. Also, I just want to address something on stream right now before we bring up any other comment. Whoever has my phone number and keeps spam calling me with no caller ID, fuck off. Absolutely fuck off. But yeah, moving on, because that person definitely knows who they are. Leave me alone. Let's see. Yankees need a real good number 2 for the playoffs. I'll give my quick opinion on this. I think right now the Yankees have multiple guys who have the potential to be a number 2 for the playoffs. Looking at 3 guys, Kluber, Taillon, Severino. Any one of those 3 guys could definitely be a firm fit as the number 2 starter for the postseason. And the Yankees won't be going into the 2021 postseason, hopefully, barring any crazy-ass injuries, once again. The Yankees won't be going into this postseason with a situation in Game 2 like Devi or J Happ. You know what I mean? I think going into this season, the Yankees are in the perfect situation for Devi Garcia. He doesn't have to be relied on as the number 2 starter. Devi Garcia is the number 5 at this point, and I think that's perfect. That's the perfect spot for Devi.
This reminds me of when, in 2017, when Luis Severino started as the number 5 starter. No expectations whatsoever. They're go out, pitch, have fun. I believe Devi Garcia is going to break out this year.
I would agree. I think there might be a little bit of rust.
He'll also have an innings limit. He'll also have an innings limit.
I would agree. What's going on, Johnny? How we doing tonight, my man? Kluber isn't going to be able to make a whole season. Hasn't pitched a whole in 3 years.
When he got hurt in 2018, that was a freak injury. He took a comebacker to the elbow.
It was in Miami, right?
Yeah, that's a freak injury. But when Kluber's healthy, I mean, he just is good. He can go out there and you know what you're going to get when Corey Kluber's on the mound. He's that veteran pitcher. Did you just get spam called again?
Yeah, bro. It's annoying as fuck. Whatever. They're leaving voicemails and shit now. Let's see. Gary Sanchez is calling you so he can reach out to Parra to give his forgiveness for his terrible play. But also, Gary Sanchez is Parra. So, now we're in, the Matrix at this point because I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Let's see.
A lot of stuff about prospects in the comments. I love this.
Yeah, I know you love prospects. Okay, Pat, I see you with the new text coming up on the screen when you put someone's comment up. That's actually really interesting because I didn't even mean to do this. But
I didn't notice it was a different text. Different text.
I think it kind of looks better too. It has a cooler animation. Watch this. Ready? Slides in. Big fan of it. Big fan. Glad you guys like it. Yes, if the Mets rotation got Bauer, I would definitely be more scared of the rotation. For sure. I mean, I was looking at the Mets rotation on paper Like if they would have signed Trevor Bauer, we're talking DeGrom, Bauer, Stroman, Carrasco, Syndergaard, Lucchesi, Yamamoto, Peterson. Like you could literally go to any of these guys.
Jason Vargas, never mind.
Oh my God, I forgot that dude existed. What the wow. Okay, you just unlocked a memory. I thought whatever. Jake Arrieta to the Yankees. Probably not. Yeah, most likely no. Good riddance, Hap. Yes. Hap, you can go screw yourself. Glad he's gone. That dude was just listen, he was solid in 2018, right? He kind of shit the bed in the postseason game 1 against the Red Sox. But I guess he kind of earned himself a contract for 2019, 2020. But 2019, 2020 were just disgraceful, just on all levels. But listen, he wasn't even that bad in the regular season last year. I think a lot of people forget that he was actually pretty solid. Let's see, Pat, I got a hot take. Clark Schmidt will emerge as our number 2.
He needs more time.
He does need more time, but I do
He
think
had
that
never
he has the
pitched in
potential to
AAA.
be a number 2.
1,000. He has extremely good stuff. He throws a sinker. His pitches really move, but he's never pitched in AAA. I mean, Devi Garcia at least had some experience in AAA. Schmidt. I mean, we also drafted Schmidt in 2017, so he's we got to take our time with him, but also we got to also remember that when these guys come up, they're not going to be pitchers take a decent amount of time to develop. He's not going to come up and throw a sub-3 ERA. I mean, he's going to take time. He's going to have these bumps in the roads. But he has the stuff to be a good pitcher. Unlike the pitchers we have in the past, like Chance Adams, he actually has a sinker. So that's really going to play well, especially at Yankee Stadium.
I would agree. Hey, Luis Medina has done terrific in the Caribbean World Series for Puerto Rico. Look out for him. Also, maybe bullpen option. Shout out to you too, Julio. Appreciate you, my man.
I wanted to touch on that. I can truly see Medina becoming a bullpen weapon for the Yankees. The control issues might, because I've read stuff on him, he really falls apart when he gets tired. So I could see him as like a 1-2 inning guy, even this year.
I really want to do like a separate episode just on Medina.
Yeah, I mean,
I know a lot of people are very high on him.
He's actually been I think even when I did the prospect podcast, he was my favorite pitcher in our farm system.
Yeah. What spot do you think Jordan Montgomery will be in the rotation this year? I'm gonna say 4. He's probably the number 4, right behind Taillon.
I also think the Yankees are going to go with like Herman and Devi Garcia for that 5th spot to split Garcia's innings.
Sure. I think, that would make sense. I would like them to go out and get like a Taijuan Walker. I don't know how realistic that is, but could you imagine adding Walker to that rotation? I would feel so much more confident going to the season because, Brandon, don't get me wrong, right? I really wanted Corey Kluber. I'm a fan of Taillon. I think they both make sense for this team, but neither of them are sure things. Like, we can't guarantee on the health of either one of them. We're talking about 2 guys that haven't pitched in 2 years. So we're banking on health of 2 guys that haven't pitched in 2 years. So therefore, what do you do if both of them go down? Like, what kind of rotation would we be looking at?
Yeah,
it's dangerous.
That's why I don't think about that stuff, because it gives me flashbacks.
No, I know. Because, like, my thing is everyone's trying to stay so optimistic. And, like, I guess I have to be the bearer of bad news because there has to be some sort of realism injected here. If both of these dudes go down, which is highly possible, the Yankees are screwed. You realize that. Screwed. And it's very likely to think that it's possible that they do go down.
I'm just saying out to this, the jinx person. I'm not jinxing. Taillon, I think 2 Tommy Johns, you would assume they would have gotten it right the second time. So I think that's more of like a good thing. Kluber, you don't know what you're getting. You just got to hope that Eric Cressy knows what he's doing. And hopefully all the players start doing yoga and stop lifting.
True. I think Stanton and Judge are doing yoga, right?
Which is smart. They stop lifting.
Brett Gardner's calling, Pat. Yes, Brett Gardner is most likely the one who's calling me. I don't know if you were. No, you definitely weren't on live. But listen, the chat wants me to do a charity boxing fight against Brett Gardner. Listen, I kind of I said realistically, like Gardner might win. The dude's absolutely jacked. But I think I would have a pretty good shot. Just saying. I mean, just saying. The results are the thing that matters. As far as pitching, Yes, probably. I guess. Um, would you be mad if Rosenthal went to the Dodgers? Yes, I would, because like Brandon, you should know this about me. When I get attached to a free agent or trade piece, I get attached to them. Like Nick Castellanos, bro. I'm still on the Nick Castellanos bandwagon. I'm now on the Trevor Rosenthal bandwagon. And bro, I want him in the Bronx so bad. And I'm gonna be sick to my stomach if the Yankees, let's say they re-sign Brett Gardner for $5 million, right? And then
Honestly,
Rosenthal signs with the Dodgers for $5 million. I'm
I
gonna
think,
vomit.
yeah, I think, honestly, with spring training so close away, I truly believe, I don't know if Gardner's really going to be back. I think Cashman's comments were like,
Yes.
I think they're saying if he'll come in for the budget, I think they have other players first, and then they get another player, and then stuff comes back, then they'll get him. But I mean, I don't see it right now. It would have happened already. I mean, it's 2 weeks before the season.
I still think he's coming back. Just saying. Can't believe that Lance Lynn became this much better since he left the Yankees.
Don't
It
forget,
just seems like everyone does, though.
Well, with Lance Lynn, he said he didn't have enough time to put together what he learned in New York. And when he went to Texas, he used what he learned in Minnesota and New York, and he put it all together. It takes time.
I guess.
Yeah,
But
that's the
what
thing
about
with
Sonny Gray, bro?
Larry Rothschild was the problem there.
You know J Happ is going to go dominate in Minnesota, right?
I don't think so.
He's going to be an absolute just wait. Just wait. I'm actually surprised Michael Pineda still sucks, though. I really thought he was one of those guys who, once he left the Yankees, he was going to become like a stud. But
Yeah.
Is it me or is everything coming together for the Yanks? Everyone is changing their approach to stay healthy, and there are more people hitting their prime as well as people trying to turn corners. Like Gary, we only hope so. Like, I know we say this all the time, but this is a key year for the Yankees. If they can't stay healthy, if they can't finally put things together, it might be a troubling sign as far as the core of this organization goes. That's why this year means so much. I guess that's why a lot of them are taking it a lot more seriously, because I guess 2020 had to have been some sort of a wake-up call for them. Would you agree?
Yeah. If we have the third straight year of injuries, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this: if Aaron Judge gets hurt, let's say he goes on a 10-day IL, that's fine. But if Judge misses like 30 plus games, I don't think you should consider re-signing him.
I don't even think that's something like to go out on a limb and say, though. That's a very realistic thing.
Love Aaron Judge, but he needs to stay healthy. First of all, he's also a lot older than people think when he reaches free agency. And I do think he's going to be Yankee for life. But I think these are the seasons that are going to dictate if he's going to make low 30s or low 20s.
No, I would agree. I would agree. I love Aaron Judge as much as the next guy. But if we can't see a full season of health from him until he becomes a free agent, you're not going to give him a massive contract. It's just not going to happen. And listen, it might be a better thing for the Yankees because if he can't stay healthy, then you just keep throwing him one-year deals and he's a Yankee for life. But fuck MLB The Show. They have Medina so low in the organization.
It'll change in MLB 2021.
MLB The Show's trash.
Yeah.
I literally haven't played that game in like 4 months, probably. Trash. Let's see. Herman could be a trade piece as well.
No value right now.
I was just going to say, it depends on two things. One, how he performs, and two, the health of the Yankees rotation. If the Yankees rotation isn't healthy, they're not trading Herman. They're going to be looking for arms anywhere they could get them. And two, right now, like you said, Herman has no value. So he's definitely going to have to show something at the major league level until he has some sort of trade value. I don't get hate for the Dodgers. Andrew Friedman is the best GM in the league. He developed our prospects to stars, and we found players in the rough and made them all-stars. He's smart with his bag. Logan, I agree. I have nothing but respect for the Dodgers. I don't know why people are knocking them, especially for the Trevor Bauer deal. People just love to hate success. I think it's the same thing as when people used to hate the Yankees when they were in the World Series every year. I don't hate the Dodgers. They're probably one of my most liked teams in the National League. You could feel differently. I don't really care. I respect the Dodgers. I respect their drive to win. That's the thing. They go out and do whatever is necessary to win. It's very reminiscent of the 2000/2010 Yankees. When I say 2010, I mean like the decade. You know what I mean? But they literally, what was it, 19. They got eliminated in the ALDS by the Nationals. They went out that offseason. Very, very similar situation to how the Yankees lost as well. They went out. They traded for Mookie Betts.
Yeah, but I also think
Arguably the best player in baseball. And now this year, after winning the World Series in a 60-game season.
Pause. Mookie Betts ain't the best player in baseball.
I said arguably.
Oh, okay. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I said arguably the best player in baseball. Because you could make an argument for Mookie Betts as being the best player in baseball. Brandon, you can make an argument for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make an argument.
Sure. Because, I mean, especially 2020. Who was better, Mike Trout, Mookie Betts? Exactly. So you can make an argument. But what was I even saying? Oh, yeah. So this year they go out and they get the NL Cy Young, Trevor Bauer. So it just seems like they're never complacent. They're never fine with whatever they win. The only important news from winter ball is the rise in Medina. Gary, Andujar, etc. are versing either young dudes or career minor leaguers, not major league competition. I would agree.
Still, it's time, though. They're still getting at bats and not taking breaks. Honestly, funny thing is, everyone says with Gary, he's like, oh, he needs to lose weight. But ever since he started losing weight, he's been shit. Maybe he's like CeCe, where the bigger he is, the better he is.
That's not true, though, because 2016, he was pretty damn skinny.
2017 was, in my opinion, yeah, you could say 2016 was his best year, but 2017, he put it all together.
Yeah, I mean, he still struggled a little bit. Like, I think he only batted like 230 or something.
In 2017, he batted 278.
Yeah. Did he? Maybe I'm thinking of 2019. I'm probably thinking of 2019.
2019, he batted like 240. I'll check for you. 2017, 278, 345 on base. Oh, yeah, 2019, 232.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking of.
I mean, batting average for Gary Sanchez is never going to matter. I mean, as long as he's getting on base at least 31% of the time, I'll be happy.
Brandon, I agree with you about when Medina gets tired, but Puerto Rico has used Medina as a starter this series, and he has produced terrific, so I can see him maybe as a 1 or 2 inning option.
I feel like they're going to try out both options, a starter, but I can just see him ending up potentially as like a long reliever, like a dominant reliever.
Yeah. The moment Stan stops bench pressing girls is the moment he might not get injured. That's true. It's very true.
I mean, he lost a lot of weight and he looked great.
Hi, Pat. Legally changed my last name since we last talked. Did you actually, Parker? I remember Parker. I don't remember what your other name was, but shout out to you if you actually did. Would you trade for David Price? Hell no. Hell no. We touched on this earlier. I want no part of David Price. Why would the Yankees need Brett Gardner? No need. I would agree, Carl.
We've been asking this question for 2 years.
I've been asking it for about 5. I thought Gardner could have been gone after 2015. Genuinely. I thought once Ellsbury came to the Yankees, what was the need for Brett Gardner? If Gardner wants more than $2 million, he can kick rocks. Listen, I agree on every level. When anybody says that they don't want Brett Gardner back on the Yankees or they don't understand why the Yankees want him back, I'm with you guys 1,000%. I'm the leader of the cancel Brett Gardner train. Okay, I'd much rather see a guy like Mike Tauchman or even Estevan Florial get some at bats over him. Because Brandon, I know you might not agree with me. I still have faith in Tauchman. I still have faith in Florial. These guys just need consistent at bats. And if Gardner plays an inning over Clint Frazier, I'm going to be pissed. That just can't happen under any circumstance.
I mean, let's also be fair. Like, let's say Gardner comes back. Frazier's not going to play every game. He's going to need a day off or 2.
Sure. But then that's when Mike Tauchman or Florial plays. Do you see the Yankees making any moves to bolster up the rotation at the trade deadline if they don't make another move first during pitching this season?
Yeah, I would assume so. We just got to see how the season pans out.
Kyle Hendricks would be a major one.
Depends on how the Cubs
are doing. The Cubs suck. Yeah. But expanded playoffs aren't back, right?
I'm not sure what the deal is yet. I assume no. I'm not sure.
They better.
I don't think they are.
Do you think there's anything the Yankees could do to steal the Dodgers offseason for getting Trevor Bauer, or know the fact that the whole world is saying the Dodgers are going to win the World Series again?
Hey, here's the thing. Everyone said in 2019 the Dodgers were going to win it all, and then you can have a great team on paper. Case in point, that Mariners team that won how many games? Like 116. What happened to them in the first round? You can have a great team, but you can shit the bed in the playoffs. I mean, look at the Washington
I was saying
Nationals. No one expected anything.
I mentioned on live the other day the 2014 Tigers eliminated in the first round by the Orioles.
Not just
We're
eliminated,
talking about
swept.
4 Cy Youngs in that rotation.
They were swept, yeah.
Yeah. And that was the Orioles team without Machado, and they had no Chris Davis as well. J-Happ is going to win a Cy Young. You know it. I do know it. Brandon doesn't. You could ignore the facts, Brandon. It's gonna happen. Do you remember the no-hitter Pineda had? Yes, I do. He had it in the 7th inning. What? That wasn't the Mother's Day game, was it?
No,
It
that
was a
wasn't the
separate
16
game.
strikeout game. No, that was a separate game. I
Pineda
actually
had
remember that game.
flashes of greatness.
That was my sophomore year of high school. I remember I was at baseball practice for school, and we were checking, seeing how far he was going on our phones.
I really thought he was going to do it. Pineda was fun. I remember every season, whenever I would look at like those Bleacher Report articles where it was like dark horse MVP and Cy Young candidates, every single year at least one person had Pineda as a Cy Young dark horse. Every single season. I was reading an article that said Pudge Rodriguez will be influential this year with Gary Sanchez. Supposedly, he has been working with Gary.
With Gary, it's all up here, right?
Yeah,
At this point, it's all up there.
I would agree. Let's see. I love the Dodgers. They're the definition of a winning organization. Everything they do is a W for them. I wouldn't say everything, but they definitely take risks, and high risk pay off sometimes. And it kind of sucks because the Yankees don't realize that. The Yankees love going with these low risk, high reward kind of things, and the high reward doesn't always pay off.
But I mean, a lot of people keep saying the Yankees are cheap, but we signed Garrett Cole.
I get it, but like, bro, like, okay. And the Dodgers extended Mookie Betts last season, and they still went out this year and got Trevor Bauer. They're $50 million over the luxury tax. Like, these aren't excuses.
But you can honestly, I expect the Yankees kind of like what they did is they get under the luxury tax this year and then break bank next year.
Who says they're gonna break bank? There's not even any starting pitchers on the market next year.
I think
unless you want an old Max Scherzer or Verlander.
If Gleyber Torres shits the bed at shortstop, you move him to second, DJ to first, you sign Corey Seager. And Trevor.
How does that help the rotation?
I'm not saying that, but then you could if Luke Voit has another good year, Luke Voit's the odd man out. You can then package a trade in for Luke Voit. Starting it with Luke Voit gives you an actual very good bat.
I don't know. Do you think Yadier Molina will be a Yankee? No. I think he already said he's going back to the Cardinals. Well, once the Caribbean World Series ends or something, he has like a 1-year deal. I wish he would come to the Yankees, though. We talked about this very early in the offseason when I thought there was somewhat of a chance. I think he would be an awesome fit on the Yankees, especially for Gary Sanchez. Would be the definition of a veteran mentor for the dude. But yeah, that's not happening. What is the Yankees' next move? I would say Brett Gardner. Like, that's not what my heart's telling me, but my brain is telling me Brett Gardner.
I have no clue. I have no clue.
Knowing the Yankees, it's going to be like Tyler Clippard. Like, just watch. Because he's definitely a free agent, too. Time to give Gardner a nice gold watch and send him a set. Would you give him a gold watch?
Brett Gardner? Oh, God, no.
I'd give him a nice Rolex. Gardy is already kicking rocks.
And
this is a good question. Who's going to be better, Garcia or Schmidt? I don't want to say just this season. I want a career prediction. At the end of the day, who's going to have a better career, Deivi Garcia or Clark Schmidt?
It's too early to tell.
You can't just make a prediction for fun.
Deivi Garcia.
Oh, I was going to say the same thing. I think that's kind of like recency bias because he's the only one who's kind of success.
When you watch Deivi pitch, not only you could say Clark Schmidt could have better stuff, but Deivi Garcia has the attitude. He has that mental space to be great. He is fearless. It also helps that his mentor is Pedro Martinez.
Yeah,
and they call him I can see him being better. Yeah, that
sure. I would have to agree with you honestly. Okay. Gary is dumb as dirt. Okay. All right, Lori. I don't really know Gary's IQ. I don't know him personally, so I don't really have a comment on that situation. Do you think Cole could strike out 300 again? 100%.
He was on pace for it.
Yeah, and also, last year could be considered a down year for Garrett Cole.
And he pitched a 270 ERA, something crazy like that.
Yeah, he struggled. He struggled.
This is totally off topic, but this should be a football player you know. Calvin Johnson was just elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I do know him. Megatron.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go. I used to, honestly, I would say maybe like a time period between like 2013 to 2014. I was a bigger football fan than I was a baseball fan. Just
Calvin
because I
Johnson,
loved playing
my
Madden, bro.
favorite
Madden
non-giant.
Madden 25,
That
awesome
was
game.
fun.
Awesome game. Let's see. If I was Cashman for a day, I'd love nothing more than to piss off each Yankee fan by trading everyone except Judge and Cole. Judge is fan favorite, and Cole would still be with us when rebuild is over. Parker, that's very interesting. I don't listen. I don't even know how to respond to that. I don't know what kind of deal you would get in return, but listen, you want to trade everyone besides Judge and Cole, go for it. That's all you. I prefer Lindor over Corey, LA shortstop. Do you think Lindor is going to sign an extension?
I think he would want to, but I don't know. I would have to see how stuff pans out this season.
D-Rob would be another sneaky Yankees type addition. Injured, decent pitcher, good character. That's very true. I know a lot of people.
Tommy John, that scares me.
Bro, you act like the Yankees aren't getting any pitchers coming off injuries. He's the perfect Yankee signing for this offseason. He fits right in.
Did he have a showcase though?
I don't know. You could check, but I think
it would
he would
be
probably
if
get
it was
like
cheap, yeah.
1 year, 1 million. Like I think that's fair. I would definitely do that. And also, like, don't forget, Robertson does he even throw a fastball?
Cutter.
Exactly. So it's not like he's relying on heavy velocity. He's just I don't think movement fades away with Tommy John surgery, right?
Movement doesn't fade away.
So, Devi Garcia is slightly taller than the little man Altuve. Devi Garcia is an absolute tank. Like, I don't care what anybody says. I love that dude. Honestly, I don't really follow a lot of Yankees on Instagram, but I do follow Devi. Wait, I know why I follow Devi. Because he responded to my DM. Because we talked about the belt.
Yeah, and he responded. And you thought it was Cole and it was Pedro.
Yes. Wait, I totally forgot that even happened. This was like Devi Garcia's first start. All right, story time, chat. This was Devi Garcia's first start, and I saw a picture. No, I was watching highlights, and then I saw he was wearing like a 45 on his belt, whatever. Posted it on Twitter. It got like a couple thousand likes. So I decided, let me hit up Devi. Be like, look, like, is this Cole's belt? Like, what's the story behind this? And Devi's like, oh, it's for Pedro Martinez. I'm like, wow, thanks, Devi. I guess we're friends now, I guess. But yeah, that's the gist of everything. Schmidt is better in my opinion. He has worked on his motion this offseason. Garcia has the moxie, good stuff in the minors, but his analytics were not that impressive last year.
Let me touch on this. Analytics. I'm talking about what you see on the mound. You could have a pitcher that has great stuff, but it can't translate. What we've seen in pitching is you need to have this persona. You need to have an attitude. And when you look at Devi Garcia, it honestly reminds me of when Pedro Martinez pitched. And I think they're both going to be great, but I just can see Devi Garcia with the 4-pitch mix, high spin rate fastball really just dominating because he doesn't give a shit when he pitches. Like, he'll throw a fastball, you'll foul that shit straight back. And what will he do? He will double up on it.
Yeah.
Like, and there's something that analytics will never describe, and that's the push and character and drive of a person. And Devi Garcia, from what we've seen, seems like he's able to handle it more.
D-Rob was supposed to have a showcase early February. Not sure if it happened yet.
Yeah.
Did you see anything or no?
No, but I don't know with D-Rob. Like, don't get me wrong, he's great, but like, he's older now, and he was not that good before his injury.
No, I get it, but my thing.
How much are we talking about? Like, what would you sign him? Because I
say 1 year, $1 million. That's
if he'll take 1 year, 1 million, absolutely. If he'll take $1 million,
that's what I'm saying.
Hell yeah.
But just like Lori said, Robertson's 36. He can share a cab out of town with Brett. I put him in the same class as Brett, which is why I wouldn't mind bringing Brett back for 1 year, $1 million. I don't think there's anything to lose with that. The issue comes when Brett Gardner is probably going to get like a $5 million deal. Just like how if the Yankees signed D-Rob for a 1 year, $5 million deal, I wouldn't be a fan of it, Yeah,
I agree. There, I agree with you. I agree with you there.
I want to know why Devi has blue hair now. I kind of like the blue hair. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It reminds me of
I don't know if they'll let him keep
retired.
Don't say that. That wasn't even blue hair. He had like rainbow. He looked like 6'9".
Yeah, he did.
Wasn't it like rainbow dreadlocks? Domingo Herman. Quite the
Scary.
guy. Quite the guy. This is Gary's last season as a Yankee. If he hits 147 again or doesn't even hit 260, if I would say as long as Gary bats over 220, he will be back with the Yankees.
Catchers are not going to mostly hit over 240. Like, we got to remember that. He's a fucking catcher. He's going to be more tired at times because of what he's doing. Here's the thing. If Gary hits 240 with a 320 on base and hits 30 home runs, I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah.
We're just asking him to not be an automatic out at the plate. We're asking him to be 2016, 2017, first half 2019.
Yeah.
That's what we're asking for.
Yeah. I like Garcia more just for the fact that Garcia was able to keep it together every start, including his debut, and Schmidt was terrible. I don't see it with him. I guess maybe you could go like the mental route there. I think you could also go the route that I just don't think Schmidt was ready and Devi was. But I wouldn't dig too deep into 2020. These guys are still very young.
That's why, like, if I truly had to make a prediction, I need more time.
Yeah, I would agree. It's just fun to make like baseless claims. I was just concerned with his fastball velo being so much slower than his minor leagues. I hope it's not injuries, just what we need. He's talking about
Devi?
Schmidt, I believe.
Well, with Schmidt, I mean, or no, he's talking about with Devi. I mean, Devi Garcia has I think like a top 5.
He threw harder when he was in the minors.
He's always been low 90s, mid 90s. But here's the thing. If his fastball's spinning, he has an extremely high spinner on his fastball where it actually looks like it's going up. That plays more than someone else. Like, if you have a high spinning fastball, it's harder to see.
Yeah.
It plays better. Spin rate, spin rate, spin rate.
If you bring back Gardner for 1 year, 1 million, you still lose 1 million, and you're stuck with Gardner.
Well, if you bring him back for $1 million and he agrees to be an actual backup, that's fine. I just don't want to waste our $10 million left on Brett Gardner.
I would agree. I love the Yankees.
I love the Yankees too.
That's a very thought-provoking and great claim. Will Smith hit over 240. Will Smith is a solid catcher.
Sanchez and Will Smith are two different catchers. Like, Gary Sanchez can go down as the most, like, Will Smith does not have the potential to break Mike Piazza's record of most home runs by a catcher. Like, Gary Sanchez is not an average hitter. Gary Sanchez is a slugging catcher.
Yeah.
Like, they're the only person that in baseball I really can compare Gary. There's not really anyone I can compare him to.
Pat, I got another hot take. Garrett Cole will not lose in his first 10 starts.
No decisions count, so perfect.
Didn't he go like the whole season in 2019 without losing a game?
Yeah, that was from like May on, but it was because of no decisions. He didn't get a loss.
Let's see. Hope Dodgers Yanks World Series just for the fact that means the Yanks will be in the World Series. Listen,
still have a chance.
I think I've been predicting a Yankees Dodgers World Series just about every year since like 2014.
It's gonna be like Marlins.
Oh, don't say that.
Athletics.
I wouldn't watch. I probably would watch. I always say I'm never gonna watch, but I always end up watching. Whatever. Like this year, I genuinely said I'm not watching the World Series, and I ended up watching every single game. Like, whatever. Schmidt is also only pitched in AA at the highest level, beyond his cup of tea at AAA. I agree. That's why I thought Schmidt wasn't necessarily ready.
Schmidt was not ready at all.
No. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Garcia was throwing 95 in the minors, but I believe his fastball velo last year was 91 to 93.
Yeah, I've realized that the minor league radars are not the greatest.
Yeah, wait, wasn't he throwing like 96, 97 in the Futures game?
Well, I think the reason of that was because the dude was starting the fucking
just the adrenaline.
It was pure adrenaline. That's like when Trevor Bauer was throwing 199 against the Yankees in 2017 playoffs, and when Masahiro Tanaka was getting up to 97. I mean, that's just pure adrenaline. That's why he can top out at 95, but if he can stay between 91 and 93 with like 2,500 to almost 3,000 RPM, that's fine.
Can you both make a hot take for this season? Not like an unsurprising one, but a super bold one. I guess I mean, listen, hot takes are hot takes for a reason, right? Mine is going to be that Clint Frazier is going to be the best overall hitter on the Yankees. Well, is that even a hot take?
No, that's a hot take. That's a hot take.
Oh, okay, that's a hot take.
I have a good one.
I'm so nervous. Go for it, Brandon.
I'm doubling down on it. Gary Sanchez will win MVP.
You stupid. You're just hashtag shut up, Brandon, in the chat.
Well, no, a
There's
real one
no
is
chance Gary wins MVP. Not one
well,
chance.
would Garcia be considered a rookie this coming year?
That's a good question.
Because if he is, I can see Garcia winning Rookie of the Year.
I mean, that's not too hot of a take, but I mean, there's no way Gary wins MVP.
Hey, it's a hot take.
Brett Gardner will hit 30 home runs. Hot take.
And everyone will just. Someone said Tyler Wade will hit 70 home runs.
Well, Tyler Wade. If Tyler Wade hits 70 home runs, I'm moving into the middle of the woods somewhere.
I will
never accessing the internet ever again. Literally never again. I'll live off the grid the rest of my life. I'll build myself a little shack with like tree bark and fucking leaves and shit. I'll never show my face on the internet again. Bring back Gardner to replace Boone.
Absolutely not. I'd rather have Boone over Gardner.
I probably would too, honestly. A good hot take is one that is bold, but at least has a small chance of actually happening, but that is literally not impossible. Wade has just as much of a chance then.
Gary Sanchez, I still think, like, I'm talking about if Gary Sanchez hits like the way he hit in 2017 and doesn't get hurt for those 30, 40 games, then he wins. Or
No. I would say Gary has a better chance of winning MVP than Tyler Wade has of hitting 70 home runs. That's fair. Oh, next year is Devy's rookie year.
Yeah, so then I could see him winning Rookie of the Year.
I'd rather have Girardi over Boone plus Gardner combined, so would I.
Honestly?
I really miss Joe.
I'd have neither.
But if you had to pick one, I'd take Joe any day.
I would take Joe.
Yeah. But yeah, I do think that's going to wrap things up for us tonight. I do appreciate everyone for stopping by, tuning in tonight. You guys know the deal. I am going to be going live on Twitch now for a little bit. I'm going to put the link in the chat, twitch.tv/Unhinged. I'll probably be live in about 5 minutes.
What game are you playing?
I actually bought Bully. You remember the game Bully?
Sounds familiar.
And on that note, it's gonna wrap things up. If you guys haven't seen the podcast that we did today, well, I did today. It's about Trevor Rosenthal to the Yankees. It's up on the YouTube channel. We won't be live tomorrow because tomorrow is the Super Bowl, but we will be back live on Monday night. Appreciate everyone for stopping by, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good night. Peace. Hope to see some of you on Twitch. 5 minutes.